Hey there, y'all, and welcome to today's Daily Down and Dirty. My name is Fairlight, and welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. All right, y'all, I'm at this cool Sunday event called Festy at the Westy. If you've never been to Asheville, North Carolina, it's fucking cool here. Anyway, those are my friends playing in the background. I might get up and sing. I didn't get a chance to do my daily video today, so I'm doing it now. So the cards are kind of intense, and there's a couple different ways that they want to be read. The first way is straightforward. It's a very feminine empowerment statement. We start with this Queen of the Water, the number 13. And no other cards would come out for a long time. She just really wanted me to stare at her and receive her message. And there's something about how her eyes are somewhat glazed over, but it's not that they're glazed over, it's that she's so tuned within. And her element is water. It's all the emotions, it's the subconscious. And what I was getting from her, and with all this music, that she really is attuned. She knows herself as an instrument of music. She knows herself as an instrument of frequency and vibration. So she's very tuned within. She's very, very sensitive to subtle changes in the waves, subtle changes in the frequency, subtle changes within herself. And so here comes the importance of this hard outer shell of the crab. Very much a Cancerian card. And really when I looked at it, I still don't know what I'm going to call the reading today, because it wanted to be called You Are Ruled by the Moon. Literally, that's what I kept hearing. You are ruled by the moon. But this is a collective reading. I called in the collective consciousness for this. So it's not just talking to me, but we are ruled by the moon. It's such a strong message of us reorienting ourselves to our own natural rhythms and divine cycles, aligning to our own divine timing. And that's reiterated in the other cards that came out. But so much about this that because there's such a sensitivity on the inside, it is important to put up very strong boundaries on the outside. Protect yourself when necessary. That's what the claws are for. And there's something about, because some crabs move sideways, and that really wants to be acknowledged, about how some crabs will move sideways. So it's sometimes moving counter to how the current would move you, or counter to how others would expect you to move, or how they only see one way of movement for themselves. And you're not limited. It's it reminds me of the chessboard in a way, and you've got access to all movement. And then there's these two turtles here, and that just reinforces the idea of having that protective outer shell, because what's on the inside is so vulnerable, and it's so precious and so important. And so really powerful card. I don't feel like she's come out a lot in the whole time I've had this deck, and so I haven't really communed with her like I have today. But also with this full moon. So what's also very interesting to me is, I read something recently, I think it was a post or something online, about how, there's a mystical idea of the stages of a woman's life, and they're referred to usually as the maiden, the mother, and the crone, or it could go this way, however, maiden, mother, and the crone. And how that doesn't truly represent all stages of all women's lives. Some women never become mothers, and they are no less women, and how locked into these concepts we have been, and how we can reimagine ourselves in all the different ways. And so we do have 3 representations of phases of being women, and they're definitely powerful beings. So we've got this Queen of Water, then we move to the 7 of Fire, and then we have this Queen of Earth, another 13. And so just in that, the number of the goddess is 713, or just 13 in and of itself. So I love that these two 13s came out. And the way it landed, she came out by herself and just wanted to talk for a while. And then this one came out, and she was kind of like this. And so a number of messages came through with that. But the biggest word that was coming through was the word hesitation. And so there is some sort of maturation that is happening, so that we're no longer hesitating on what we want to cultivate in our lives. But there's like multiple messages within all of these again. And so there is something about what lies beneath the surface that's almost as like a seed that has been planted, because then this card came up like this. And so this is coming into full bloom. I want to clap. Yay! So multiple things. It is, you know, some sort of hesitancy in really allowing your creative spirit to express itself and to really cultivate those seeds that you want nourished in your life, those things you truly want to take root in your life. And there's also something about this snake. I've been getting so much snake imagery. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing snake imagery. So there's a lot of owning our sexual power, a lot of owning our prolific creative energy, and also shedding the old skin. You know, they're gonna get me up to sing some like, listen, is it me? No. So shedding the old skin and allowing this renewal to take place. So all of that underneath, it does, again, it feels like a maturation when it was just these two cards about what lies beneath the surface. And again, being ruled by the moon, there's something about now you've entered a new cycle. You've entered a new phase in your life, a new awakening. And so, so again, it's like this. So it's like now the seeds have been planted and now you're blossoming into this abundant queen. And it feels like, while in the past it could have felt like hesitation to really act on your truth, now there's no hesitation, but you can appreciate that you had to arrive in your own cycle. That some of us are late bloomers. You know, you might still be very young and so you've lost no time, but you've learned not to hesitate. Or you could be a late bloomer, but just trusting that you are aligned and arriving in your own divine timing. And when you blossom, look at the blossoming of this beautiful goddess, this beautiful earth queen. And when we talk about things, you know, divine timing, aligning to our own divine cycles. And if you look closely, like there's an eye up here on the moon that is watching over things. It's like our higher self. And here she's got one too, but I don't know if I can get it to focus. But there is a spiral unfurling in this eye. And then she's got her own third eye. Her eyes are also, she's looking within, she's very tuned in, but there's such an emphasis on the throat. And this is such a Taurus card. And Taurus rules the earth. There's 3 earth signs, but Taurus is the earth. And Taurus is the sign of the bull. And so what I love is that this bull is at her throat. And so that is her finding her voice. And it's when you discover, when you mature and you arrive and you blossom into the discovery of your own beautiful voice and you speak your truth, it comes barreling through. There is no holding you back. And no one dare approach you. No one dare stand in your way, because you will just barrel them over. A crow just flew overhead. I love that. So really, it's time to allow the beauty of your truth to blossom. This is the 3rd time now the message wants to come through that maybe 5 years ago, if you had spoken this truth, you may have been afraid that you would get backlash, or people would call you a witch or even do harm. Now we have evolved so quickly, maybe not fast enough for some of us, but we have evolved so quickly that now this beautiful truth that you have blossomed into sharing, I think it's timely. And there's something with these 2 eggs here that now you are truly planting seeds in the psyches of, the fertile ground of other people's psyches. And you're going to see things come to fruition. You're really here to barrel over any untruth and injustice. It's a very like swordsy kind of energy, airy kind of energy for being so earthy, but you are planting seeds. And then the last part of the message is there's something about, because we are in Taurus season, we just came out of Aries season, so there is something about that eclipse, I think, that happened that really somewhat, it's like it was a quickening to the earth, and now ideas are coming into blossom. And I think in Cancer season, there's going to be some new divine alignment, some shift in the consciousness that really brings you power and you really recognize truth within your own being. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love until next time.